everybody. Thank you for joining us this morning for another exciting episode of Digital Coats of Paint. This morning, we want to review some things. If anybody was on the Ask the Expert call on Monday, it was very long and there is a lot of information. About 3/4 of it was dealing with some of the new expectation forms that are going to be on the wiki. The wiki is kind of not really down, but there are some issues with connecting to it right now, which we are looking into. It has to do with some certificate verification, so it is being worked on, but eventually what was covered in the Ask the Expert session on Monday will be in the wiki. But the last half of that session was about the new Campaign Insights dashboard. So we wanted to review some of the information that they gave us about this, and we will also be getting this information out to you guys after this Digital Coats of Paint session. So let's just jump right into it here. So we want to just go over the Campaign Insights. What are the key features? What exactly makes it a little bit different than ClickFuel? We want to talk about the login and how you can find your clients. It's very easy login this time around. There's no special, different password. It's going to be pretty simple. We're going to go over some of the basics of it, what the look is like now. It's a little different setup. So we want to go over like the home page, how you can set up your date range for your reports, the products page, and then also subscriptions. You can actually set up, subscriptions for your customers or you to get reports either monthly or weekly. And then we're going to go over just briefly the leads metrics breakdown. We'll do an overview of that and give you the overview, visual, and detailed breakdown on the report. So again, this is just going to be a brief overview. This isn't actually launched yet. When you go to the login page, it says you still need some administrative access. So I believe they're still working on it. But by the end of the month, you're going to see that it should be live and active. So some of the key features with the Campaign Insights, same as ClickFuel, you're going to have 24/7 access. So your customers, if it's 3 in the morning and they can't sleep, they can log on to Campaign Insights and check their information. All the digital products will be in one dashboard, and that's going to include local impressions that are running. From my understanding, it's going to be everything that they're running digitally will be available on this dashboard. There's going to be, it's a new visual, and we'll show you in a minute some examples. The graphics are much more appealing, and they're organized in a way to better tell our success to the client. Social media management will also be accessible from the same dashboard as other solutions, where previously it wasn't. And then also, there's going to be the ability to create some white labeled solutions when it's needed. And it's going to be very easy for both us and our clients to export reports and subscribe to reports. And I'll go through the subscribe feature in just a few minutes here. So that's some of the key features. Again, this is just another slide emphasizing those features. Updated reports. Your clients can subscribe to receive their reports on a monthly or weekly basis, and they can get exported as PDF or Excel files. Again, there's that white label option if they have an option for a fully white labeled dashboard for franchise or agency level clients who require it. There's an updated layout and some updated search capabilities through the dashboard. So the other thing too with this new dashboard is that the performance-driven metrics are going to be matching the expectations provided from Geo from both their audits and the client goals. So for example, when they give us an estimated reach based on a budget, that's going to actually be reflected in the report information that we're providing to the customer. So for example, if there's a click-through and open rate for perhaps like an email blast, that's actually going to be reflected in some of the information that's going to be presented to the client on the dashboard. So that's new, and that's actually kind of exciting because then the client can see based upon what we've suggested via the audit or via support material from the wiki, it's going to be presented in the dashboard. So what exactly is Campaign Insights? As I mentioned, it's the new reporting dashboard. Accessing it is going to be through this URL. So you might want to jot that down, bookmark it in your browsers. And to log into it's very simple. You're just going to use your network username and password. So there's no unique password here. Your clients will get their own username and password, but for you to log in, that's all you're going to need is your network username and password. So once you're on the dashboard, you're going to see this screen where you're going to need to choose the market, and then you can use the drop-down menu to find your client, and that's where you're going to do it in the area that's circled in red. You're going to be presented the page that, you're going to select the market you're in, and this should also then, by selecting that market, enable you to find the client's name. So I don't know if the client's dashboard is going to be different. I'm just letting you know this is what we're going to be able to see, but I believe the client will just have access to just their own dashboard. That's a question. If that does come up, I'll pose that to Nick Kroll to find out a little bit more, but I believe that's what the case is going to be. When the client gets their own unique username and password, they'll only have access to their information. So the next thing you're going to see is this home page, or what's also an overview page. And the top of the overview page, it's also, if you notice in the top left corner, we're going to have our own logos up. So it's going to kind of, like when the client's on there, it's going to give us a little bit more brand recognition as well. Right now, when you go to the ClickFuel page, it's just basically, it's just ClickFuel, and it's nothing that's making us stand out. So in this case, we're going to have our brand up there, our logos. The overview page is going to, the top light blue box will be an overview of all the products that are currently running digitally. And it's all summarized at the top of the page. So it's everything that's running. So in this example, you can see they're running display, search, social, and Facebook advertising. But at the top, it's going to have the total number of leads and the number of calls. It's going to be a one-stop place for them to see how the progress is going for their campaigns. That's kind of a new function there where it's tallying up everything that's running. To select date ranges, it looks like our samples are going to be either last week or last month. So if you're going back 3 months to show an overall campaign, or 6 months, you're going to have to use the search or the date ranges set up there, which is going to be really easy. It's simple, just like you've used in the past. You're just going to have to go back and click the date ranges and select apply. Should be very easy to use. So for the product pages, each of the product sections are going to have, so like when you click on one of the product pages from the home page, each one's going to have 3 sections. There's going to be the colored boxes at the top are the overview metrics. It's just going to be a quick and simple way for the customer to see how their metrics from each product that they're looking at. It's just conveniently located at the top. And it's really a snapshot of the product's performance. The next middle section is the visual metrics, and this is going to contain more of the visualized information, and they're just displayed, noted above in the graphic. You'll see that it's just a little bit more of a breakdown of the metrics. The detailed metrics is where the customer or we can dig a little bit deeper into what's going on with that campaign. It's going to be more specific data, and things like you'll be able to see the calls, you'll be able to see some of the ads that are running for the keywords. It's going to break it down much, much further. So that's the campaign details. And then last thing I'm going to cover here is subscriptions. So the customers now are going to have the ability to be able to set up and schedule automated reporting. This is a new feature. And so to sign up for automated reports, they're just going to select either the last week or the last month in their date range, and this will allow them to get the reports emailed to them, either PDF or Excel spreadsheets. And it's a really simple way for them to get it sent right to their mailbox. This is really going to be helpful, especially for those customers who want to see more regular reporting. They can just get it themselves really quickly and easily. Okay, Brett, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm kind of losing my voice a little bit again.
No problem.
If you want me to stop presenting, I can.
Okay, 1 second.
Okay. Or you can take control of my screen if you want.
Yeah, go ahead and just shut it down, and then I'll put mine on.
Okay.
Okay, let me know when you can see my screen.
All right. Excuse me one second. It's not showing up yet.
Okay, one
Sorry,
moment.
folks. We'll be back in this in a moment. While Brett's getting his screen set up, are there any questions? If anybody wants to type any questions into the conversation box, we can answer them.
Trying to present desktop, and I'm going to hit present, and it's doesn't look like it's coming up for me.
Okay.
1 second, hold on.
But if it doesn't work, I could put mine back up and just give you control. You can just direct it
go
right
ahead
from
and
my
let's
desktop.
let's just do that, because for some reason
Okay.
it's not letting me. Yeah.
No problem. Let me just do that. It's probably something we could do in the future too. It seems like.
Yeah, you're losing your voice, so I'll go ahead and.
Yeah, sorry guys. Just let me know when you can see my desktop, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Again, folks, sorry for the delay. Appreciate your patience.
Okay, I requested control here.
Okay, let me blow up my screen and then you can take over. Okay, all yours, Brady.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So I think we were talking lastly about the subscription. So that's a really nice feature. So we can actually get automatic reports sent to us. That'll be really nice. So we don't have to continually have our account managers check in with us, or we have to check in with them. And our clients can get those reports. We can get those reports. So whether we choose to have those reports sent to us and then send those to the clients is up to us. But I think it's probably a recommendation that we could also have the clients get those automatic reports, so then they're privy to everything that's going out, either on a I would say on a weekly basis at least, if that's going to be the minimum that we can have. Just diving a little bit deeper in here with the leads metrics and reporting. The leads metrics, the overview. So the leads metrics is calculated by calls and form fills. The leads, total leads across all products. So that's going to accumulate all the leads for each one of our products. And like as Scott mentioned before, we're going to have, I believe, all of our display products on Gannett end is going to be showing up along with Geo products. So that's going to be a really nice feature to have there. So we don't have to constantly be getting all of our reports together either from Genie and then our account managers. We can actually just get this in this one dashboard. The additional key metrics for leads displays how many leads are from calls and how many are from form fills. So they're going to be segregating, separating those calls and form fills. So then it says chat is currently under beta testing for select clients, will be available to everyone at product launch. So Scott, did we hear anything else, or is that in the product guide as far as live chat?
Yeah.
Is that going to be a product manager?
I haven't heard anything else about chat yet, so
Okay.
I guess that's information that'll hopefully be forthcoming once it's actually launched.
Well, that'd be a great feature if it's tied into an account manager that's online during the time, if they can answer direct questions from the client and they're available to chat. Maybe they'll have prompted up to a chat window. That will be a really powerful and beneficial tool for both us and the client. We're going to just look at the product overview metrics. Every product in a client's portfolio will display key metrics on this page. There are 3 metrics per product. So we have the key metric, middle column, The metric is typically the most important data from the product results. It varies by product. Additional metrics, the right column. The third column contains additional metrics that can be used to provide an overview of total campaign performance. Metrics vary by product and can be displayed as simple digits or percentages depending on the metric. So obviously, if we're, the difference between a PPC and a Facebook metrics are going to be, those clicks versus the likes. I know we still get reports from, impressions on those, but the major difference is going to be likes versus leads. Let's say talking about, search versus Facebook or social media, or, anything with target email blast. Did you forward that, Scott?
I just went forward the next slide.
Okay. Overview metrics for the leads overview, calls, number of calls. Obviously, a lot of this is self-explanatory. The leads overview area displays lead data from calls and form fills. The data is combined in the leads field. So when we get this, when we get this dashboard that's going to be here out in a week or so, we're going to do another digital coats and actually go through each one of our campaigns that we have for each one of these products. And I believe that we have everything out there except opt-in email. So we'll go through each one of these and be able to walk you through this in real time with real client examples. So we have the visual metrics down here is presented by line and bar graph charts. The lead summary graphic displays the combined data across the date range to total leads. Each source is represented with leads being the total of all sources. To display data for individual rates, simply roll over the highlighted areas on the graph. Call distribution by time of day. The call distribution graphic displays the number of calls per hour from the first to last call. So those are going to be nice, to be able to see a visual representation instead of just having those calls come in by section as we do currently right now with ClickFuel. They're just in there by kind of just a little lead section that's not represented by any bar graphs or charts. The only thing currently right now is the number of impressions, likes, and clicks, I believe, that's represented by line graphs. So we're basically going to have visual representations for all these metrics that are coming out. So that's going to be a nice feature. Let me see if I can. Okay. Detailed metrics. There's like Scott said, it's going to be breaking down the metrics a little bit more robustly with this new campaign insights program with this software here. So the lead details by date and time, first name, email, rating, type, last name, duration, source, phone number, notes. The leads details table displays the most recent 10 leads and the metrics above. Lead ID is the identifier used by the platform. The user can activate a pop-up by clicking on the message field. This will display the form message or activate a player to listen phone messages. View all will open the lead data. So again, we're just going to go walk through this when we get it real time. We'll be having the information in front of us, and we'll be able to actually show you what that looks like once we get the Campaign Insights launched and we have our current clients on there. And I believe, okay, that's the last slide. So anyone who
that was the last slide. Yep.
Okay. Anyone that has any questions at this point, or go ahead and free to ask them. I know one thing that maybe everyone is asking or is in the back of everyone's mind is the current ClickFuel that we're getting right now. I would still advise again to pull those manual reports until we get the new Campaign Insights launched, because ClickFuel I believe is not really changing. They're not going to be pumping any more data into ClickFuel. They're not going to be updating ClickFuel reports. So everything that's in there is basically the end of ClickFuel. So any of the reports that you have out there are dead, are basically from 9.4, something like that. They're not going to be pumping any more data. So don't expect to go back there and look at any other updates, as all that data and information is now being pipelined into the new dashboard. So I would advise.
If I can interject here too, Brett.
Yep.
With that, ClickFuel is actually going to be shut down at the end of the year. So any data that's in there right now, there's a good chance, like if you've got a client who has previously been using a program and the reports are in ClickFuel, there's a good chance it's not going to be transferred over to Campaign Insights. So just be fully aware that, that data will actually be unavailable after the 1st of 2016. So, it's a good idea probably to go in there. If you've had a client who has been working through ClickFuel in the past, pull those reports, save them somewhere, perhaps in a folder on your desktop for future use if you need that. Again, there's no guarantees. We've given Nick Kroll, who's working on this project, Brett and I have given him and provided him information, which would be, the contact name and email addresses for the people who have been running so far in ClickFuel. But again, there's no guarantee that information will transfer over for the past. Yeah. Anyone who's currently running, that should be a smooth transition. But for anyone who's run in the past and is not currently running, there's a good chance that information will come over.
Yeah, and so you might want to just accumulate, what you had run in the past. If you've had any email blasts, if you've had any, PPC campaigns, anything that has ran in 2000 and, before actually 9.4, you want to make sure that you accumulate that data. And if it's not there, and sometimes it says data is expired or it's not available, just ask your account manager for that data and information, and they should be able to provide that for you. And if you need those manual reports pulled currently for that time, then that's something that we advise you to do also. So I think Stephen has a really important question. Who do you think is going to win, U of M or MSU?
Oh, Steve.
Well, I don't want to ruffle
stirring up controversy already this morning.
Yeah. But, I think that I think everyone kind of knows where that direction's going, but myself, I'm a State fan, so hopefully it goes in that direction. Oh, the Lions, yeah.
Grace, I'm sorry to say that's a lost cause.
Yeah,
I wish it would be better.
Any other questions that anyone might need for this particular session on ClickFuel, or anything that happened or was covered over Ask the Experts? Go ahead and ask those, and if not, I believe that we could probably wrap up this session.
Is it okay if I say something?
Yeah, please, of course.
Okay, this is Lisa. I just wanted to let everybody know that Mary has sold Gravity ads for the LivingstonDaily.com. This is brand new for us, and it's very exciting. Our first one is going to be next Wednesday, October 21st, and then there's another one on November 5th and a third one on November 23rd. So it's going to be really great for everybody to get on that site, our site, that day, and let your customers know it's Bob Maxey is the customer. So this was just so exciting for us. It's another learning curve because we had never sold one before. So I just want to give a shout out to Mary, and then of course to Brett, who always helps everybody. And please go to our site and look at it. So very exciting.
Lisa, that's awesome news. Thanks for sharing that. And if you wouldn't mind, could you or Mary send us an email on those dates again?
I'll be sending one out because I'm going to send it to all editorial and everybody so that everybody can go on and share it with their friends and family and customers. And so anyway, that's to come.
Awesome news. That's so much great news. Cool. Thanks a lot for that, Mary. Great job.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to say too. Yeah, congrats on Mary for selling that. I know that we had some. We've had actually some. I guess a little bit of kind of with everything that's new that we've never tried. We've always run into kind of roadblocks or situations. So there was a couple things that we dealt with as far as that we had to talk to Nick about. But if you guys have any questions, if you are in the process of selling something new or a Gravity ad, feel free to reach out to Mary or myself, and we'll help you on that. One last thing I'd like to say too is that last Friday, Libby is new to our team and she just got recently hired. So one thing I wanted to say is that she sold her first digital product, and it was on search retargeting to a pizza place. So that's a shout out to Libby also. So good job, Libby, with that, and I'm sure we're going to have more to come for that with her. So first digital sale for her. So good job, Libby. You're welcome, Libby.
Awesome. Steve said, what are you calling her?
Libby.
I'm not sure. Libby. Libby.
So yeah, if
Well,
anyone
guys,
has
thanks.
any,
Yep.
what's that? I was just gonna say, if anyone has any other wins or things, feel free to share on, at the end of our digital coats of paint, and feel free to give shout outs. And if you have any advice or you need any other help, that's the time to do it. But congrats to everyone out there who's doing, new sales or something new and selling new products. And again, congrats to Mary and Libby on those. And so, please reach out. Steven, you can always reach out to me and anyone else that's out there. So,
Thanks, guys. We appreciate you joining us this morning, and go blue.
all right, go green. That's one thing that you and I, Scott, probably we share a lot of things. But
I live in Ann Arbor. It's a law. I live here in Ann Arbor, and I don't want the U of M police breaking down my door saying, "What the heck are you doing?" So.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what happens this weekend. So.
All right. Good luck.
All
Good night, everybody.